Hello, welcome to another video from SchoolTech HQ. So today we're going to look at how to use loops, really basic loops when it comes to using microbits. Now, first thing we do when we open up our project is we've got our onStart, and in the video in a second I'm going to show you is how to connect your microbit to your laptop and make sure it's connected, so when I press download, it will download straight to the microbit instead of as a hex file, which is a bit more complicated, especially for users. So you can see I've connected already. Just going to connect my microbit. So this bit here, and you can see this connects only one way. Let's put it to the back here. It'll click in place. It's now on. This is version 2, so it has a red light and an orange light to tell you that it's on. And you go connect it. So we'll go to the 3 dots, connect device. Follow the instructions, so we go to pair, select the microbit, select the microbit, select connect, there you go. Now all I have to do is press download, because I've got a blank one here. It'll transfer this all the way over to my microbit, and now it's blank. Start fresh. So now we can start fresh on a new project. Okay, so once we've done that, we can get rid of our forever at the moment. We're going to just use our onStart. Now, when we talk about loops, what we're wanting to happen is we want a series of instructions to repeat themselves. So if we look at a pattern that we've made, now I've made one earlier here. So we bring this one over. So you can see on this pattern here, what I've got is I've got a heart. It's going to pause for a second on that heart. Then it's going to change to a small heart, then a big heart, then a small, then a big. It's going to repeat that pattern a few times. You can see on the simulator, it repeats a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. So it's repeating twice. Now you notice here is that actually this is a pattern here. What I've got is I've got 2 programs going on at once. So if I was to make a new one, I'd go to basic, show icon, and then I've got my basic again, go down all the way to pause. And all I'm doing is I'm repeating this step again and again. So I'm duplicating it, making a new one, and carrying it on. The thing is, I could just copy that again and again and again. I could repeat the whole thing, and it would become a very, very long list of instructions, which makes it a bit harder to navigate and to just looks a bit messy. So what we do is we can count how many times we've got. 1, 2, so 2 big hearts, so I'm repeating it twice. Now instead of having this big long thing, what I can do is I could have this loop here. So I go to loops, and you see we've got a few options here, and the one we're going to focus on is this one here, which is repeat 4 times. So what we're saying is, if I get rid of this moment, it grays out when you're not being used. So on my onStart, when it starts, I'm going to say repeat, and I'm going to say 2 times. So repeat 2 times, do this. And so what happens is it's going to copy whatever I put into it twice. So if I put in just half of it, so it only is once now, so I can get rid of that one. And if I put in this, so it only does it, so a heart, pause, small heart, pause, and it will repeat that twice now. So instead of me having this long code, it's now shorter here. Now what's great about this as well, this repeat, is that I can then change that. I can change it to 4 if I wanted to. So I can say, right, you're going to repeat it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see in the simulator, it did it 4 times. So now it's done in the simulator a few times, I can now add something else. I can add more things to this to make it a bit longer. So I could repeat this, duplicate the whole thing, and I could add that below. This is a really good first project to do with children when you're looking at loops. And I can change this to, let's say, a turtle and a duck. So now we change that to, say, 3 times. So now if you look at my simulator, when it's loaded, it will do the heart 4 times. We'll restart that. Heart 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it will now move to the other one. Turtle, duck, turtle, duck, turtle, duck. There you go. So that I've repeated my patterns there. Now that's great, but if you wanted to go on forever, if you want your microbit to be on flashing like a heart forever, I could put this to a really big number. I could do like 1,000 or 10,000 and have it just go on forever. But that takes a bit of time. So what we can do is we can actually change that to something else. Instead of saying repeat 10,000 times, it will eventually stop and unstart. So what we can do is we can take this apart right now. And if we go back to basic, at the very start, we had a forever. Now, forever is exactly what it says. It is a type of loop. And what happens is whatever we put in there, it will do it forever until we stop the program. So if I put it in forever on the simulator, you'll see what will happen is it will just repeat that same pattern that we had forever. And it will never stop, no matter how many times. So don't have to repeat 10,000. So another thing we can do is if we want in directions, and we want someone to copy the directions that we're going in. So what we can do here is same thing. Remove this at the moment. If I've got in here my forever, I've got north, east, northeast. Again, it's repeating the same thing again and again. So instead of my arrows pointing, I could use, if I want that only to happen a few times. Now I'll show you where that is actually. So let's get rid of that. If we go to basic, we go down to the very bottom, we've got show arrow north. If I select that, put it inside. Again, I need my pause. And then another show arrow. And then another pause, which I can just duplicate. So if you right click on it, if you're using a trackpad, 2 fingers clicked on the trackpad on a Chromebook or a laptop at the same time will cause it to right click for you. So there you go. So I can change that. Let's change it to, so I can put 2 seconds. It will go for southeast this time. Okay, so we see what's going to happen is it's going to go north, then southeast. So we could be telling someone directions, going right, you need to go north for this long and then southeast for this long this many times. And then you could do a different one, something else. But you get the idea. So, or we could put that in a forever and it will forever do that. There you have it. Those are some basic ways of using loops. You have got your forever and you've also got your conditional loops, which means that will only happen for a certain amount of times. And what you can do is you can use your other options, so your buttons and other things to create that. But for simple animations, all you really need is a forever or a repeat. I could use a repeat inside here. So I've got this one, and then it changes to something else. So get rid of my on start, don't need that one. My forever here, I'll repeat this 3 times, and then I'll get my turtle and duck back. Repeat that 3 times as well. Oh, I'm gonna make that 4 times. And then what happens is, now we know, you can leave that as an investigation for someone someone has to figure out what it is you're doing. So there you go. And then what we do once we're done is we download and we'll put it onto Microbit and it'll look like this. So I've got my program here. It's happening on the simulator. I just need to download it now. When I download it, it will travel all the way over. This will do a little flash, but it happens really quick. And there you go. I now have my repeated pattern, 3 times doing heart, big heart, small heart, and then 4 times doing turtle and duck. And that will happen forever until I unplug power. That will continually just do that pattern there forever. Great activity here is you can just leave this out. So close this over so they can't see it. Leave this out and they have to guess what how many times it's repeating and how long you left between each one. It's a good little loop investigation, which is available on Microbit's website themselves as one of their lessons.